And we are here. Pledge Watch is the name of the show. Always a pleasure to have you joining us every Tuesday evening as we take a look at progress in terms of development across the counties, across the countries, different sectors. This is it right here on a Pledge Watch with me, Linda Alela. And I always say that it's a pleasure to do this, much as most of the leaders would not always want to come out and discuss their flaws. But, well, we have a nice way of tweaking them to getting to admit the fact that maybe they have not done what is expected of them, or else we celebrate what they have done, and moving forward, they give us more promises on how soon they intend to achieve what it is that they have promised you. Welcome on board. It's always a pleasure, like I said, having you joining us. And I know this is a show that you've all been waiting for. Amid all this hullabaloo of COVID-19, we still soldier on. We still continue to give you those essential services as we update you on what is happening across the world of news. And we kick off the program right here. We are, of course, to be joined by Migori Governor Zachary Okoth Obado. I'm sure you've been waiting for this particular moment, and the people of Migori are eagerly waiting to ask those candid questions. Sadly, because of the situation, yes, he was caught, flat-footed with the curfew, so he was not able to travel over to Nairobi. But all the same, this has to go on. Where he is going to be joining us via phone or on phone, and he'll be answering those questions that you have sent in already, and equally the questions that you've called in to, of course, give unto them and actually given to him. So remember, it's important that you interact with us. Hashtag Pledge Watch. Let's get to hear those questions coming in. You can as well hit our Facebook page. That is TV47. Let's get to hear what you have, of course, in form of a question for Governor of Migori County. And we always say that, it's about putting the leadership to task. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a show that is specially dedicated to the people of Migori. No, it is a show for every other Kenyan. So welcome on board once again. Like I said, my name is Linda Alela, and I'll be doing this with my very own sign language interpreter, and of course none other than Agnes Okoth. So welcome on board once again. Mheshimiwa, if you can hear us, good evening.
Oh yes, Linda, I can hear you.
Thank you so much for finding time.
I want to take this opportunity to say jambo to all the Kenyan people, and more particularly the viewers of TV47.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have loved to be there physically, but unfortunately, this coronavirus is still and we have to abide by the rules and the regulations that to us.
Sad enough, Governor. Indeed, we also would have loved to have you on board. But then again, Mheshimiwa, tax is a time of technology. You should, push to this level where it would be tech savvy enough so at least the people are able to see you.
We are. And I think from tomorrow we can, for that better view, I would like it to be placed on TV, but unfortunately, we have challenges with security, but it's very that we shall come in.
Well, what's important is that at least you're here with us on phone. Whatever means, what's important is that you speak to your people, and equally they get a chance to ask those candid questions. And like I said, we share this on our social media pages, and of course, hashtag Pledge Watch, TV47 pages, and of course, my personal page at Linda_Alela, that is on Twitter. And we got lots of feedback and, numerous people from Migori County with lots of questions in regards to the aspect of development. But even before we get over, or we cross over to that, I think it's important or pertinent that we kick off this discussion by looking at the situation that the country and the global fraternity is facing as at now. And if my memory serves me right, February the 23rd, this year, of course, during the BBI public rally in Narok, you called for an urgent measure at the port entries for the government to ensure that at least they're able to deal with this aspect and, sort of curb the entry of COVID-19 into the country. Sadly enough, it is here with us. Do you suppose then, as a country, that we could have done something, or we could have done, anything better to ensure that we do not get to this particular point?
Yeah, this is our war as the people of Kenya. And not only that, it's a war for all of us. But are looking at people who develop Kenya, but I want to clear that.
Governor, allow me to cut you short because we're not able to get you clearly. As we fix this, there's a clip that we can listen in from a person who's, from Migori County, had some questions for you, and we can get to listen into that, and we get to hear some of the questions that he'll be asking, and we'll come back with you. So are you able to answer them, as we proceed with the broadcast?
Okay.
If we can have that clip, yes.
Good evening, Linda. My name is Oro Carlos from North Kademia Sub-County. We once again appreciate you for bringing Governor Obado on board. Now, as a resident of Migori, there are some questions that I would like to put into attention of the governor and to at least get his response concerning these questions. I have 3 questions for the governor. One, I would like to ask him about the status of classified drones within North Kadem. To be precise enough, there is this road from Nyorangugo Road. We understand that the proposals has been done. County Assembly members has approved, but there is nothing going on. If you look at the building sites, there are culverts that need to be built. That has not been built. The status of the road is quite pathetic, and I would like the governor to let us know what he thinks about it. Then there is sand harvesting that has brought down building of dikes along River Kuja. We all understand what Nyora Kabuto people are going through. These people all along have been displaced. Even as we talk right now, these people are displaced. The area is flooded, but due to COVID-19, these people are forced to stay in their homes. Because we try very much to take government directives into actions, we are staying in water currently. We are not allowed to camp in Nyora and Kabuto Primary, as we normally have done every time we have come across flood. As we speak right now, the issue that has brought down all this mess is land harvesting, which we understand the process is overtaken by the county government. There is a process that was started by the National Irrigation Board to build dike along River Kuja that we believed would control the flow of water. I would like to know from the governor why the county is the main master of land harvesting along River Kuja. Number 3, now this has nothing to do with Migori County. This goes to governor himself. We understand governor has a project in Lower Nyora where the governor got into a tree planting in the area without calling public participation among the locals so that we could agree. We understand his project is on course. The good thing or the bad thing, it has been stopped by the floods in the area. We want to know why the governor is using the land that was left for the animals to graze on, since the area is a semi-arid desert. Most of us, there is nothing that we rely on. We rely on animals and fishing. Now, the moment the governor has taken the other part of the land for his tree planting, there is nowhere we can take our animals to. So we are requesting the governor, he needs to come back to locals, get their views. We need public participation. We were not involved in anything concerning tree planting. So we want to tell the governor in a very humble way. Suppose he has a project that he needs to launch, him as the governor, let him call the wananchi. We engage. He can even purchase piece of land from us. We are willing, being that he's our governor, we love him. And again, through these projects, we would also like to see our people gaining. It might be a source of income to us. So when the governor has thought of giving us income, bringing income generating project, as much as we understand it, but there should be public participation. We need to agree on what to be done on our land. So those are my questions to the governor, and I wish him well.
Well, thank you so much, Carlos. Or on that, we'll be giving the governor a chance to react on the same, a couple of issues raised there. But before we delve deep into this particular clip, I think it's important we go back to the aspect of COVID-19 and how best we're dealing with it as a country. And Governor, you were talking to us in regards to the same, or you were explaining yourself in regards to the same. If you can hear me, then you can proceed.
Yes, Madam Linda.
Yes.
I'll kindly ask that you repeat the questions or the concerns or the issues raised by that brother of mine. Because
I'll take you through the questions. Not a problem. I'll take you through the questions. Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Otherwise, I wanted to say that this is a war that all of us as the human race must be ready to fight. Not a war for the people of Migori, neither is it a war for the people of Kenya alone, but it is a war for all of us as the human race.
Yeah.
As you have mentioned that there was a time that I did or pleaded with our leaders to ensure that our borders were closed also to the Chinese. I had my great fears. But now I'm happy that we are seeing, all of us are seeing the seriousness with which this coronavirus has impacted on us, and we are now ready to hit it head on.
All right.
So I just want to plead with my fellow Kenyans to ensure that whatever instructions we are given, whatever advice we are given, kindly let's abide by those. Like when we are told to wash our hands using running water and detergent, when we are asked to sanitize our hands and even the things that we touch, when we are requested not to shake hands and even have or kiss, when we are told to keep the safe distance of at least 1.5 meters, and when we are asked to avoid public gatherings like funerals, weddings, and even church functions, please, it is my honest appeal that let's abide by those instructions so that we keep the corona at bay. We have been told severally that the virus itself does not move from place to place, but it as human beings that carry from one place to the other place, and it's highly contagious. So we must protect the human race by limiting our movement and by following the instructions that we have so far been given. Not a punishment, but it is for our own survival. And we have realized that human race is now at a very, very great risk. A risk that can easily take us into extinction. So, my brothers and sisters, let's look at this one as our war. It's not the war to be fought by the government only, but it's our war as the people of Kenya and also as the human race.
All right.
So, that is my appeal.
Yeah.
And if all of us can do their part properly,
all right,
then I hope we are going to minimize the spread of this coronavirus and completely wipe it out.
Well, thank you so much, Governor. Then the next, or the obvious question then would be, we take a look at the reports that are coming on board, and you realize that there is an upsurge of patients at Migori County Referral Hospital, that is renal unit, and you, as it stands, you know, Migori is amongst the counties that do not have an intensive care unit. I mean, where does it place in terms of dealing with the aspect of COVID-19? Or best asked, how do you rate, the preparation aspect of Migori County, with, when it comes to dealing with COVID-19?
Okay.
How prepared are you?
Madam Linda, I want to admit that as we speak, we do not have an IT unit.
Right.
Yeah, but we cannot miss to find out where the cases are coming from. Yeah, most of us are still trying to develop our capacity. When I took over in 2013, I believe there's a great work that we have done. But unfortunately, we have not reached that level of having an ICU. Now we have reached where the gaps are, and we are now working very, very hard to ensure that sooner than later we are going to have an ICU.
Sooner than later, Governor, when we're looking at the fact that right now we have curfews around across, key counties, so to speak, and here we are talking about sooner or later. I mean, movement being curtailed and all these curfew activities. What then would be your message to the people of Migori County who look up to you for a solution, hands-on?
Yeah. I want them not to panic because we have made adequate preparations. We have taken all the precautions to ensure that any case that might arrive will be properly handled. For example, we have an isolation center, and also we have set various rooms in our health facilities that can be used as holding rooms. So if you visit any substance hospital, you will find that we have a holding room there, fully prepared, that's enough personnel. And we are saying that if we find a case that is a little bit threatening, then such cases must be taken to our isolation center, which is adequately equipped in terms of the physical resources plus the human resources that are there. So those provisions have been made, and therefore, as we speak, I want to encourage the people not to panic. I believe the preparations we have so far undertaken are satisfactory. May not be excellent, because this is a new phenomenon that we are not envisaging. Yeah, but we are trying to build our capacity, we are trying to increase our level of awareness so that we can tackle any eventuality.
All right, Governor, we acknowledge that indeed this is a battle that we have to take on, as a country. But then again, there's been that push and pull on the aspect of funding, equalization and division of funds, of course, that are supposed to be channeled to the level of the county, that has been there between the national government and the county government, and even coming to the aspect of, hiring of nurses. And we all acknowledge the fact that health is a devolved function. But then again, when there's this push and pull where the government decides that they're going to hire nurses, yet, of course, with no proper consultation at the level of the county, I mean, where does it place us as a people? And moving forward, how do you seek to solve this as, Council of Governors?
Right now, I've not seen any area of real because we all know that both the national government and the county government, they are supposed to be closely cooperating and collaborating.
Right.
So, in an event like this or in a situation like this, there are no blame games that should be approached. And so far, or if I talk on my behalf as the governor of Migori, I can't fault the national government in any aspect because the staff that they want us to hire. First of all, we may say that we are not budgeted for them. But the good news is that they are the ones that pay for the expenses of the hired staff, the new staff. So there's really no conflict.
Right.
And if anything, I can say that they have made it much more easier. Looking at the agency with which we need the staff, they have said that instead of the Public Service Commission of Kenya doing the interviews in Nairobi and then posting for the health workers, each and every county has been given that big way of interviewing the additional staff. So it will be faster. Yeah. So there's really there's really no conflict in this particular situation. And I also want to request that let's not just think negative. This is a positive effort. It's a joint effort whereby we are now building synergy to ensure that get the maximum out of the entire process.
Yeah.
National government is free, and we are doing the recruitment here, and it is my sincere hope that we are going to come up with the best at the most appropriate time, in the shortest time possible. So it is a win-win for all of us.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Governor, for explaining that to the people of Migori County. Still a couple of questions coming on board in regards to how prepared you are, when it comes to dealing with COVID-19. A couple of questions that I'll be going through, of course, after we take, after that break that we'll be taking right now. But so much so, Governor, and I think you are right here so that you're able to get to answer them. Remember, it's important that you send in those messages, because today, purely and squarely, will not be more about my questions, but definitely the questions that you'll be sending as the people of Migori. So remember, it's hashtag PledgeWatch TV47 on Facebook, equally TV47 on Twitter and on Instagram. Let's get to hear what you have to say or what questions you have for the governor this evening, and we'll be right back with much more after this break. All right, so welcome back to the broadcast. We are taking a short breather, and so much feedback coming in, which clearly means then that we might not go my way, but technically go your way, because it's pretty much important that we have your questions addressed. Governor, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Linda.
Thank you so much once again. And people are asking, where have you been all this while? What is happening to Migori? What is this special thing and different that you're doing to the people of Migori before they delve in to asking you those pertinent questions? Or before they put you on the spot?
Was seriously fighting corona and encouraging people to do self-quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been self-quarantining. Well, of course, they're referring to the aspect of you've been, missing in action even during this particular, even before we got to this point of COVID-19. And they sort of feel like, since 2016, there's been so much silence in terms of, the developments on ground, in terms of the things that you're doing to the people and the promises.
I've been, most of the time, I've just been on the ground here concentrating on my development activities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm doing very little, I think, very little talking.
Some also asking, do you suppose then the numerous court cases would have thrown you off the balance? And how then are you able to manage, or how are you managing in terms of getting back and, sort of offering these services to the people or serving the people of Migori?
Yeah, I think generally later I can do a lot of multitasking. So really I can't say that those cases have been pulling me down.
Yeah.
Maybe they are just pulling a bit of my energy, but most of my energy is down here, working for the people of Migori.
All right. Okay. Well, now let's go back to what Carlos had asked earlier on, and he brings pertinent points in regards to River Kuria and how much so the activities that are being conducted by the county government have in a huge way displaced and sort of thrown off the people of this particular area. They've been thrown off balance as it stands today. And, they're pointing a finger, or he is pointing a finger at the county government and saying that, why is it that the county government is not sort of, caring for the people, or is not putting the interest of the common mwananchi at heart when they're dealing with this, when they're, sort of land harnessing at this area of River Kuria?
River Kuria, it's called River Kuria.
Yes.
Now, he had talked about the government building dikes along River Kuria.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to tell him that this is a project that started some years back.
Mm-hmm.
It is still not complete, but it was a project started by the National Irrigation Board.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is very unfortunate that our people do not know the functions of the county and the functions of the national government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with such projects, Mheshimiwa, then we would expect that the government is equally, sort of, alive to the fact that yes, there's common mwananchi who's sort of highly dependent on this particular area, and maybe should work on, policies that will help, even if it means the aspect of compensation for that matter, or talking to them and making them understand, this project that has been started by the county government will end at this particular time and will have this effect to the people. But then again, we're looking to have you back on balance.
No, Madam Linda, I'm still addressing the dike.
Right.
The dike, along the Kuria.
Okay.
This is a project that cannot be actualized just in one financial year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also know other similar projects like the Budalangi, so dike, which recently had that brought in water again.
Mm-hmm.
So the one along the Kuria is more or less similar to what we have along that river, Budalangi.
Public participation, and this was land that was left for animals, and it's more or less like a semi-arid area. So he is questioning that aspect of the county government proceeding to conduct these activities without even consulting the common mwananchi, which is a constitutional right and expectation. Yes.
He is complaining about which activities having been, which particular activities.
Right.
I've not got the question right. That's why the county government did which activities. Nyora.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you because I didn't get you right.
You didn't ask, didn't get my question right. This is what Carlos asks or says. The governor has planted trees without calling for public participation. There's been that land that was left for animals, and some of them, a majority of them in this particular area are highly dependent, on farming and also that aspect of rearing of animals. So he says it is a semi-arid area, and it would have been wise for the county government to have consulted the people or the public before proceeding to plant these trees, because then it has thrown them again off balance. And I mean, probably the government should have proceeded to buy this land from the people. But what he cites most is the importance of public participation in all these activities that has lacked.
Public participation was there are some of our brothers and sisters who are out here without
Some of them claim that this is their land. You would have bought land from them instead of proceeding to do this.
To do what?
To plant trees.
No, there are people who are highly ignorant. There's no place where we have planted the people's land.
Right.
I've not seen. There's nothing like that. What we normally do is go sitting, and we encourage our forests. So,
well, I hope Carlos can call back and probably try and elaborate that further, so that at least the governor is able to get a hold of that. But from what I gather is exactly on this particular aspect of Lower Nyora, and he says that plants have been planted at this particular area, yet it was supposed to be left for them who are highly dependent on animals, and animals are supposed to graze there.
No, I think resident.
Okay.
That's a guy being fed by the woman. But it's not on the ground, because as far as I'm concerned, and everybody else sitting around Nyora, there's nobody's land that you have utilized to plant trees. The place is in as it was. If anything, or it's only the dike that is being constructed so that the river water,
All right.
or there's just something. And also, under the law of using steam, we are encouraging rice farming there, but people are doing it on their private land. The county government don't infringe on any person's land or whatever activity. So it's only unfortunate that that particular commentator must have relied on a lot of and hearsay. Yeah, or it's not unfortunate. That is not unfortunate. Neither here nor there.
All right, Governor, lots of questions, and I think it's important that we also take a look at them, a majority of them that are coming in form of course, questions. And here we are. And kindly ask Honorable Obado, now that Sony Sugar was closed, many were retrenched and jobless. Now, COVID-19 is here at the county government. And of course, the county government wants to impose a curfew. How will guys survive? Will his government go door to door donating food? What's the way forward? That's a question by Brian Omondi.
But
are you able to get me, or I go through it again?
I'm able to get you that it is not the county government that is putting that is.
Curfew was imposed by the national government, yes?
The national government. And once all that is long time ago, even China, where the coronavirus is from.
Well, his last question then, as the county government, will you go door to door, in trying to sort of keep your people afloat by donating food or giving them food?
We want our people to observe the executive power.
Right.
Don't want here and there, or so that just the corona and then it is others. In terms of food, we are not talking out of the supply and stuff. We are only against others that can endanger the life. So if it is a mama mboga taking up long as the market there's no problem. So long as people will not go and crowd that particular place. So right now, my team organizing all those traders and suppliers, or even offering them open spaces so that they can continue their supplies and wananchi can go and buy from them.
Speaking of which, Migori, speaking of which, of course, you say that your government has waived the market levies and revenues imposed on traders in various sectors or in various markets across the county at this particular time of dealing with COVID-19. How genuine is this? While we know very well that there's been that grappling and, sort of them complaining that this could have been done long time ago, because then the difficulties or the situations in the markets down there are not as easy. So it's something that is long overdue. And for how long will this be?
Or to reinforce of the ban of public gathering.
Right.
We have said that we don't want people to crowd together in those markets like that. And in order to ensure compliance, say that people might look at that were not supposed to be addressed. But now I'm saying that having realized that must keep them in their homes and minus goods.
Yeah.
We have now organized such a way that or you will be offered more open spaces. So when they go to those open spaces, then in order to keep the social distance that is so much desired, then my revenue officers and the market officers who are organizing those traders, those open spaces, will also be working to ensure that the law and order is maintained. And they will also be those ones who have come to do their small things.
All right.
So, for the board of officers,
Yeah.
I said that now that they are there is only one person. I don't want them to stop giving excuses that they are running at alone.
Yeah.
So we have now given them a waiver. And out of that waiver, I want to find sanitizers so that they can get their or the helmet.
Okay.
And I'm also encouraging the border user, yeah,
All right.
to also acquire their own helmet. Because with your own helmet, you can maintain the hygienic standards. But the helmet that is shared by so many of passengers
Yeah.
who may not be very, very sure. I think
Okay.
one of the areas that can really give us problem in terms of contracting transfer.
All right. I
So,
think.
to the people of Kenya who are border,
Yeah.
I think it is time to talk about acquiring our own helmet for our own safety, even in the absence of coronavirus.
Right.
There are quite a number of border operators
Yeah.
who do not care about their helmet. They only have their helmet, and in fact, there are others who make up.
Which they should. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the safety of the passenger,
Okay.
for my own safety, if I'm a border user, let me buy my helmet.
Well, I think that one has been well answered, Brian. Let's proceed to the next question, which is equally pertinent, from Tito Omugo, who says there is no going to the market and the other places. Guys will go back to mining of gold, which was banned. Will that be a disaster in waiting, since people don't have machines to harvest the gold? They just do things manually. This also, of course, Governor, in the aspect of trying to understand how you can stay afloat economically as a county, if you can react to the same.
So my answer was that we have not done completely market activity. That the supply will be on.
Yeah.
So I want to be very, very clear on that. And what we are doing is organizing that is no overcrowding in a particular place. And I'm happy that even today, my team was busy everywhere in the country. They were all over the country trying to organize our market. And we had set the goal of the that are nearby the job market, the open that are there. So that then when we are directed that it can be acquired in that particular place. If it is the right stuff like fish and rice, then they can be acquired in a different location. Yeah, so all these efforts we have been doing to ensure that the place of overcrowding in a particular place. So in short, I'm saying that we have not banned completely of market.
Of mining,
Now, for mining, right now we are really struggling to ensure that we give our people the best possible safety or aspect must be observed. So, as we speak, and given that we have just experienced very, very long rain, I don't want to encourage our people to go into those mines because most of them are risky and there is also overcrowding or the ground is not very, very strong.
Right.
And thick, so I'm not encouraging that particular activity. Yeah, but if they continue on the ground without entering into the sea, then it's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want anything that will be endangering our people. In terms of physical harm or in terms of pulling them together in a big crowd so that they can conduct
Well, thank you so much. Now we cross over to another question from George Lennox. This is quite a lengthy one. So, Governor, if you can hear me, let's proceed and go through it. George Lennox says, hello, Linda, pass my regards to my governor. I'm from Nyatike Sub-County, North Kadem, Ward, Migori County. As a concerned citizen, we demand to know how many ICU beds do we have as a county, and if not, then how far have they gone to see to it that they acquire some? I think the governor has gone through that, and he also asked, he's in the last regime, what would he be ecstatic to show to the Nyatike residents that he did to them, apart from diverting Suna Muhuri Migori route to Migori Kuria? Some of the borehole that were dug in his first term haven't been completed up to date. For example, Luala Water Project, which plan does he have with them? And how does he think that we can believe his word if for the past 7 good years they haven't been accomplished? Mheshimiwa.
Okay.
3 questions.
Now, the first one about the NCBS, I think I said that.
Yes.
Right now, we are and he talked about probably I diverted. I think it's out of that was started before the country movement came into being. So it's very possible that I diverted to their time. Now, for the second project, about the Luala that is not we have the water the river water that covers kilometers and frequently and range so that is not there and
we're not able to
like very area
Governor
provided water and more open. As Madam Leader, they are quite a number of and I thought that this is just in there.
All right.
So those are ongoing projects. About mass rail, then so all over the country.
All right.
They are projects
Governor.
And when I talk about it, about the solar farm, facing the government chance. And
Well, mhm.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Governor. Of course, quite a tough moment right there because of the technical hitches, but not to worry, because as the Governor has said, we promised that we'll be having this session with him because there's so much so that we'd want to discuss in regards to the promises that he's, of course, or he made to the people of Migori County now that he's exiting the stage as Governor. Of course, as per the Constitution, what next, or what does he sort of plan to do moving forward? But before he exits, what will he have done to the people of Migori County? Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Of course, briefly, if you can speak to your people, your last words briefly, because we're not able to hear you well. So let's just be brief. Yes. Right. We're not able to hear you well, Governor. So unfortunately, we might not be able to.
hear?
Yes.
Sorry, but I wanted.
That's a little bit better. Yes. Yes.
That can be seen. I cannot talk about what something that there are also other aspects in for example, when it is
Well. And unfortunately, Governor, we're not able to hear you very well. I think there's a lot of movement, or maybe it's because of the network issues. But all the same, but all the same, we say thank you so much for your time. And equally, thank you so much for your feedback back at home. Not to worry, because then we're going to have this session once again. Always keep it TV47, because we'll update you on when again we'll get to have Governor Zachary Obado of Migori County. And of course, we expound more on the progress in Migori County. It was great having you this particular evening. I must say thank you so much. And I look forward to see you again on Tuesday, same time, same place. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. I was doing this with my sign language interpreter, Josephine Ouko, and my name is Linda Alela. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing.